So there was never any kind of hard feelings. I was never upset over it. I completely understood. And so I get this phone call 2 years later, and they're saying that Nikki is on these live streams, and she's telling people that I did all the research for BCF's live stream. I'm the one who wrote it, but somehow I didn't give her permission to use my name, and that's why I didn't go on the second time. And it was just a lot of stuff that really didn't make sense. It seemed kind of weird, but my first, of course, knee-jerk reaction was to get upset, and I was like, wow, because I got sent a screenshot of her saying, I wrote that or something like that. And so my knee-jerk reaction was to get upset, and I was like, I'm so hurt. Like, this is my friend. We've been friends for years now. And I just can't believe, that this is happening now. I haven't even been around for 2 years. And so this person puts me in contact with a creator that I didn't know. And this is my mistake, I guess, is not finding out more before I agreed to be a guest on her channel. Knee-jerk reactions. This is all within minutes of me hearing this. And so this person who called me is saying, you should do a live. You should do a live. And I was like, well, I can go live, like I definitely want to defend myself. I want to, have the chance to tell my side of the story if something else is being said. And then she puts me in touch with this creator, and she's saying that she wants me to go on her channel because I guess she had spoken about this. And, and I'm here in the dark because I haven't been in any of these live streams in our community. I've stayed away. And so I have no clue, what's going on. I'm just taking everything at face value because I'm a dummy and I forgot how all this stuff works. And while we were having the conversation, it was somewhere near the end of it, I was like, I really want to talk to Nikki about this. Like, I just don't feel right. And they were like, no, don't contact her. No. And I was like, okay, that's a red flag. That's a little weird. And then I decided to, check out the live stream that this woman had done. And I checked out the live streams that Nikki had done about this. And I actually talked to Nikki herself. And for the record, I contacted Nikki. Nikki did not contact me. And after speaking to her and finding out what had really happened, which was basically twisting a bunch of things around to make it look like she was attacking me, when in fact what she was doing was just deciding that she was ready to tell her story herself. And that's up to the person. I understand, like, stuff like that's hard to talk about. So if you're not ready to tell the whole thing at the time, and I'm sorry, Pesky, I just realized that it's a little bit ugly about that. Yeah, Angela, I know that now. I know that now. I did a little research and found out. And so yeah, I didn't know she was going to be using the I didn't know she was going to be playing clips of me and stuff like that. And the funny thing was I told her before we went on, I said, hey, I've done some checking. I've talked to Nikki. Like, I don't think this is what it looks like. And I'd already told her the night before that I wasn't interested in trying to speculate on what had or had not happened to Nikki. Just that, yeah, I'll appoint a few people mods. I've had mods. I haven't been on here for so long, so I'm sorry, guys. It gets a little ugly sometimes. That's one of the things that I hate. That's one of the reasons why, like, I stayed away. I'll pay a little more attention to the chat. I'm sorry. Anyway, when I was still mad, I'd actually said, I'm not interested in trying to speculate on what did or didn't happen to Nikki. I told her, I said, that's her story. It's not mine. And it's not my place to say that something did or did not happen to her. I said, it very well could be that when I was talking about it, that I didn't, she wasn't ready to tell the whole story. And that's perfectly fine. I get it. I mean, that was actually in the clip that she played that was supposed to be some big gotcha moment. Although if you notice, like if you saw when I was on that live, nothing I said in those clips was any different than what I said in her live. Yeah, she definitely lied. They painted the whole thing like Nikki was going around telling people that she didn't have permission, that I didn't have permission to use her name, and just making it sound like, there was just making it sound like that Nikki was being gross and trying to put stuff off on me. And they were, I think, banking on the fact that I hadn't been around, and knowing that I'm reactive and I tend to want to defend myself if I think that I'm being accused of something. Figured that I would probably just pop off and have a fit without trying to find out what was really going on. I think that's why the live that I was on was scheduled for so early in the day. And I know that, Nikki. I know that now. It was good. And I told her like that I did have permission, like that I'd run everything by Nikki before I put it out, because I wanted to make sure everything was right and everything was respectful. And yeah, Angela, I think you're 100% correct. And I think that they were going to use me as a weapon because I was her friend. Yeah, me too. I feel the same way. Like, it's just not okay. Traffic from ages 2 to 10. Sorry, don't know what you're talking about there. But anyway, here's the thing. If she had a problem with anything that I said, she should have said something either before I went on her panel and said, no, if I don't want you on, or, whatever. She could have addressed it with me. I was right fucking there. She could have addressed it with me and said, I don't like it, or, but you were mad last night, or whatever it was she wanted to say. She could have said it while I was right there. Instead, what she did was the cowardly thing and waited until I wasn't there to defend myself or to speak up for myself, and to actually say, that's a lie or whatever. She waited until it was super early in the morning or super late at night, however you want to look at it, at a really weird time, and then deleted the stream. And I'm guessing it was an assumption that I wouldn't see it or something. So basically, that's it. I don't know Tiffany. I took everything at face value. I thought she seemed like a nice person. I didn't do research. I've learned my lesson now. I definitely won't be going on any panels without finding out what kind of person they are first, because I definitely don't want a repeat of this situation. And I don't like the fact that somebody tried to weaponize, to steal a term, my friendship with somebody and try to use that to hurt them. That's not just gross, it's ugly. And to try to take somebody's traumatic experience and use it to hurt them, and call them a liar, try to say this didn't happen to you. You weren't there. Were you there, Tiffany? Were you there? Were you like the little angel or devil on Nikki's shoulder, watching what happened so that you can sit there and say, no, that never happened to you? I mean, that is gross. That's just gross behavior. We don't victim shame. We don't victim blame. We believe the victim. And I'm not going to sit there and attack somebody because something bad happened to them. Why the fuck would I do that? I was told that after this happened, it was said to me that Nikki needed to quit talking about it, that she never should have brought this up in this community, that she was trying to weaponize her trauma and use it to hurt other people. Well, the only way something like that could be used to hurt you is if you're doing something ugly and trying to use it against them. if you get what I'm saying. Like, you have to be doing something wrong if somebody's trauma makes you look bad. You have to be doing something wrong in the first place. That's my take on it. So the way I see it is that there's something that she's guilty of that she feels like she needs to cover up. And she's trying to do it by making Nikki look bad and calling her a liar and trying to get her friends involved in it, and I'm sorry, I don't play that way. I stand up for my friends. I will, if I feel like I'm being attacked or lied about, I'm definitely going to stand up for myself. And everybody who knows me, even people who don't really know me, if you've just been on my channel for a minute, you know I'm going to defend myself. You know I'm going to speak up, but you also know that I'm going to stand up for my friends. And yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know who Granny Was Watching is really. Never dealt with the woman, never watched any of it, but I've heard enough about her to know that like it's not somebody I need. Um, who can be questioned and who cannot. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of right. Like, I'm I'm just I'm really bowled over. I'm really bowled over that I shouldn't be. I should have learned to expect it by now. But it amazes me that after 2 years of no contact and knowing very well the reason why I haven't been around, that I would be contacted out of the blue and expected to join in some kind of witch hunt against a friend of mine to try to prosecute her or persecute her because she decided that she wanted to tell her story. Like, and for what it's worth, I said this before and I'll say it again. As far as I'm concerned, bravo. Like, Nikki, you're a brave motherfucker for talking about it on whatever platform you decided to talk about it. That takes balls. That takes balls to stand up and say this happened to me, especially because whenever somebody goes public about SA, and I've said this more than once, is that probably every woman in this world has had to deal with it in some way, shape, or form. And whenever somebody decides to talk about it, oh, don't worry, we'll get there. The reason I'm only talking about Tiff is because she's the one who publicly uh, decided to attack me because I didn't want to attack Nikki. Really, the fact that it was Amy that it was Amy that contacted me. Um, I don't really see that as being here nor there. I don't think the fact that Nikki contacted me is, or I'm sorry, that Amy contacted me is really neither here nor there. Although I do think that Weirdo with a Beardo is Tiffany. Very well could be. Don't know. Oh, I need to find some wrenches. Hold on.